you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. I'm back. I'm sorry, family. I've been very, very busy, but I'm here. So thank everybody for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Family, I have a nice topic to talk about today. I want to talk about Dr. Umar. And it's been a lot of questions on, social media. I literally just saw, this is another reason I did it. I was going to do this video anyway, but I literally just saw somebody on my Facebook that I really ain't, really aren't even in these FBA spaces like that, had a post about, is Dr. Umar op. Now, I know our brother, shout out to Black Alpha, he did a video on Dr. Umar and saying that he was an op in the Twitter space, right? Is he an op? He was basically asking the question, but I think he's an op. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Jermaine Shoemaker is on some real slick shit, and he has a big issue with FBA. And again, because FBA, right, and how we are on this lineage-based movement, reparations movement, that interferes with Dr. Umar's movement, the Pan-African movement, right? Because Pan-Africanism is all global Black people working together, right? And our lineage-based movement is getting, things specific for our lineage, right? And it's funny how Dr. Umar always argues with that in a fucking country that we are from, to argue that we shouldn't get specific set-asides for us, specifically foundational Black Americans, and we should just open the door to all African people. Like, no, that's not happening. But I want to play some of our brother Marcel and our sister Gazelle. I'm sorry if I chopped your name up, sis. But yes, we're gonna play this. I love this interview. And I'm gonna let y'all hear it real quick. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through a couple parts. I'm gonna skip around though.
Because it does exist. Like, what can we do to stop that?
Well, I guess for me, as a student of history, there is no group of people who ever came out from oppression being helped by the people who were oppressing them. So then the question becomes,
not a lie, because what's it? The Holocaust survivors, they got their reparations. Yes, from the people who harmed them. And make sure y'all subscribe to 50 Shades of Greg with Greg Marcel Dixon on YouTube. Please make sure y'all subscribe to his channel.
At what point do we make it our responsibility to get up off our knees and start living as an individual race in this country? Because we are filled with excuses, not to say that you are offering any, but we as a people are filled with excuses. And the irony of those excuses for the American African is the fact that our spending behavior does not suggest that we are in such a dire state that we can't do anything for ourselves. $30 billion a year on hair and beauty Do you know how many schools you can build with $30 billion a year? Do you know how many men you can keep out of jail? Do you know how many women can get jobs? Do you know how many institutions and hospitals you can build off of $30 billion a year that we spend on hair and beauty? $4 billion plus on liquor and alcohol. Do you know how many after-school jobs you can provide Black children with $4 billion a year? Although I understand.
See, and this is what I don't like, right? I don't like how he tries to, you know, make us seem like we're the only fucking group on this planet buying mad liquor, yo. Because Hennessy and all of that stuff, yo, the dude Arnaud or whatever, Bernard Arnault, he's the richest man in the world, and he owns Hennessy, Moet, and all that shit. Yo, if you saying we spend $4 billion a year, well, he's worth $200 billion goddamn dollars. So there's other people drinking that shit too. You keep trying to do that, and this is what that brings when you keep doing shit like this. Hold on, family. I'm about to switch the tab real quick. This is what happens when you constantly try to give other people fucking talking points. And fuck this nigga right here, too, on some real shit. Before you even hear it, I'm going to say fuck him.
When I said Black culture promotes degeneracy, that's something that everybody knows. And if you listen to any rap music like Durk, I listen to Lil Durk all the time. He's rapping about murder all the time. He knows that will sell more music. He knows that rap beef and like, I'm going to kill you, you're going to kill me. But you're 29 with kids, still talking about like killing other people and you're going to risk your life over music. Like everything that hip hop promotes, besides Ye and besides a few like, you know, Christian rap or stuff like that, it's all just drugs, murder, bitches. When a Black person becomes more affluent, when they put on a suit, when they get a good job, when they speak correctly, you're speaking white. Yo, why are you talking like a white?
First of all, that has nothing to do with white, right? Again, shout out to Tariq, right? Because he said, you know, people like, he didn't name Dr. Umar, but I'm going to name Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar dresses nice. He's very articulate. So does Brother Marcel. So does Tariq. So does Dr. Claude Anderson and all of these people, bro. We don't, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, we never said that they were acting white. We never said that she was acting like a white girl, or Dr. Umar acts like a white boy because he talks articulate. Polite probably has the biggest vocabulary that I fucking ever heard. He doesn't talk, nobody ever said that he talks white. No one ever said that. But again, also, let's actually get back to what he was talking about, you know, the rap music and the culture and them keep rap. Yo, let's talk about the labels who, if they do bring some if they do bring a positive message, it's getting they like, no, we can't put this out. The streets don't want to hear that. The people don't want to hear that. See, that's just what these rappers get told. So again, you trying to put it on Little Durk, but you're not saying anything about the people that he signed to, these record labels who actually are purposely pushing this agenda. These drugs and these, you know, these Cardi B's and these Cali Reds or whatever the hell that girl name is. You feel what I'm saying? They're being pushed on purpose.
White boy, I'm just speaking English properly. When they talk about keeping Black culture Black in those affluent areas, they mean they want a doctor who's also.
But see, again, watch this. You're not going to try to limit Black culture strictly to rap music. Because more than rap music, we have inventions, all type of stuff. You're not going to, you feel me? We liberators. We some of the most peaceful and respectable people on the planet. Don't try to fucking limit our culture to just rap culture. What about gospel music? That's our culture. It's not. What about rock and roll? That's our culture. Country music, that's our culture. The blues, that's our culture. Don't try to limit us to straight hip hop, something that the white man done fucking put his hands in and got control over, and he's pushing that fucked up agenda. Because when it was all positivity with KRS-One and all them, they tried to switch it up.
Also sagging. They want a doctor who's still banging and throwing up signs.
I agree that there's a lot of stuff within hip hop culture that is kind of negative, for sure.
All of it. All of it. Like,
you really put me on the spot here to like think about it objectively.
When I said Black culture promotes degeneracy.
That's why I don't like Adam 22. fag ass nigga, because you will bring somebody on here for real because he's saying shit that you want to say. And that's why you put me on the spot. You over here laughing. Like, nigga, fuck both of y'all at the end of the day. Keeping it real. Let's go back to Dr. Umar. Let Dr. Umar keep talking himself into a fucking hole.
Understand the circumstances. I lecture on those circumstances. I speak on those circumstances. Although I understand them, at the same time, I cannot swallow any excuses because we are in a fight for survival.
And low-key, Dr. Umar definitely he brings that shit up low-key because you just mad because all these Africans across the fucking world that you claim that you fucking talk to all the time and that all these people across the world love you. The Niagara, I said the Niagara. The Nigerian African, you feel me? The Caribbean African, the Jamaican African, you feel what I'm saying? The Kenyan African, you name everybody around the world, but somehow it's still taking you over 10 years to get the school up and running, or however long you've been trying to get money. Fuck the time you got to school, because I know that wasn't that long ago. But nigga, you've been trying to raise money this whole time, and you telling me, and that's why you trying to make people feel good. I mean, feel bad. And watch this. When you say those damn stats, nigga, you ain't talking about all fucking African people. You talking about American Africans, nigga. You talking about you feel me, American Africans. You talk about FBA, nigga. For real, that's what you talking about. You're not talking about no Caribbean people and them, how much money they spending. You only talking about foundational Black Americans trying to make us feel bad because all those other Africans who they got outnumbered us like a motherfucker ain't helping you like that, like you saying.
And we can't sit around thinking of excuses for why Black men are not trying to be better Black men for the same way Black women need to be trying to be.
But I want to skip. So I said I was going to skip around, so I got to get to this little 30-minute mark.
Have a policy of discrimination towards Black people. Black men are just as guilty. Black men, if that, listen, I am a king. I need to be treated like a king. I am a city. Is that there's a history to who the Black woman is, just like there's a history to who the Black man is. And the reason why so many of our Black women have become masculine is because they had no choice to be, because they needed to defend their sons. They needed to raise their sons. They needed to deal with men walking in and out of their life. They needed to deal with rape, abandonment, molestation, and a lack of support from other Black women. So all I'm saying is be sensitive to the history, because in order to solve any problem, you have to do a history on that problem. When you go to the doctor, they do a history on your medical problem. When you go buy a house, they give you the history on that home. When you go to the psychologist, we do a history with our patients. So why is it not the same when we're trying to deal with issues in the Black community? Simply blaming people, scapegoating people, or trying to absolve ourselves of responsibility is not going to get this done.
And now, and I just want to be clear, because I think some people misconstrued your words. You never said that. You actually said that Black men are providing for their kids, because you know the narrative is that Black men are actually fathers, which the CDC, which has not historically been friendly to Black Americans, sometimes they've played in supported stereotypes, but the CDC and Pew Research Center has shown whether married or unmarried to the mother of their children, Black men are usually the most involved. What you're saying is that we need to go back to a communal mindset where even if a child doesn't have a father, every child has like a big brother. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, to some extent. What I'm saying, even moreover than that, is that Black men need to come.
Yo, and I agree with that to an extent. I just, being my personal experience, you gotta watch that big brother bullshit. You just gotta watch it. Because the times that we living in now, it's a lot of whack, weirdo, touchy, feely shit on people's children. And that shit gets put under the dirt, right? Because we be having grown-ups that know shit that's happening and fucking people don't be saying shit. But anyway, I'm going to digress from that part. But I do understand what he's saying, and we do need that. But we definitely need a lot of fucking what you saying, vetting. We definitely need a lot of vetting when it comes to that big brother shit, because there's a lot of damn weirdos out here, for real.
Come together and come up with a system. When a father tells me he's taking care of his children, That's good, but that don't solve the community's problem. So we have to get out of the individualism. I don't care how many fathers are involved in their children's lives.
No,
I
that's not what
care
I'm
about
saying.
fathers coming together to make sure all the children have a father. I am totally focused on the best interest of the community. Individualism means nothing to me because individualism is not a solution.
Okay, so now we have to go here. You have spoken about reparations
Here we
quite a
go.
few times, and more recently, at least that I'm familiar with. We're going to play this clip, and then we're going to discuss it.
Reparations is not just for us. It's for all African people who have ever lived and who will ever live in this country.
So do you still feel that reparations in America is for all African people?
Well, for me, coming from a Pan-Africanist standpoint, and I offer no apologies, just as I've said in my message in Jamaica, just as I said in my message in Guadeloupe, just as I said in my message in Ethiopia, just as I said in my message in South Africa, and just as I'll say in my message this weekend in Barbados and next week in the U.S. Virgin Islands, there was one slavery that took African people from one continent and scattered us all around the world. And because there was one slavery, there should be one organized reparations movement. And it
should be one organized reparations movement.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
This nigga never makes sense. And you know why he never makes sense, family? Because he's a fucking hater. He's a hater. Straight like that. You don't like FBA because you don't like Tariq, right? And you use these little stupid ass talking points. Because watch this. What he doesn't do is he doesn't go to CARICOM and say, yo, CARICOM, y'all need to add in all the Africans, because you know what? All the Africans, it was one slavery, and it needs to be one form of a restoration. Like, nigga, get the hell out of here. You ain't telling nobody that but foundational Black Americans. You only tell us to stop delineating. You don't be saying that shit to these niggas.
And even if Negroes are still in love with being separate from one another instead of operating as a single race, we should still at least collaborate and communicate with each other so that the white power structures of the world who we're going to for these reparations cannot play the divide and conquer, separate and rule tactic, because there's no collaboration amongst the figures and no collaboration amongst the demands. So for me, I will never agree with any of the movements until we have one organized global reparations movement. I think that would be the most effective and it would be most comprehensive. But to your point, as it relates to the American-African situation, the truth of the matter is African people from the Caribbean contributed to the greatness of America. DJ Herc, the father of hip hop, he is of Jamaica.
Man, shut the fuck up. See, again, you bringing up this shit because of Tariq. Fam, this nigga, like, yo, I'm starting to become so done with this nigga, because now you're compromising the good of the group just because you have issues with people. Now I want to fast forward a little bit. I want to get to this 40 part. This is when we're going to end it, right? Then I'm going to get into somebody else.
Eating from the plate of Black America because we're scared of them. So we don't want to upset the homosexuals. We don't want to upset the women's movement. We don't want to upset the Latinos. So we're going to pick on the African immigrants because they're the only people we're going to get away with by targeting them. Why are you not targeting the real people who have siphoned off of the civil rights movement? Why are we attacking African immigrant brothers and sisters? That's just my position. But
see, nigga, first of all, you know that we're doing that. That's what I hate. These niggas that be so disingenuous. And I'm going to show somebody else that's very disingenuous in our community, right? Watch this. I'm going to finish playing some of Dr. Umar.
But again, that's not my fight. I'm going to let y'all have that because as a Pan-Africanist, I wouldn't even waste my time on that.
Let me push back.
And again, right? He kept saying reparations not my fight. That's y'all fight. Well, then, nigga, shut the fuck up about reparations then, nigga. Keep reparations out your fucking mouth if it's not your fight. always talk about some, oh, well, we should give the reparation. It should be, well, we should get the music. All the music, black music should go to black people. And we should get the residuals from, you know, from Michael Jackson's album. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You just gonna skip over this nigga whole family and just give the fucking residuals to the community. Meanwhile, you talking about what's residuals though? What we getting from that money? Because then you against cash reparations. This nigga never makes sense whatsoever. And he literally does that shit purposely. Again, he said this a couple times in his interview with Marcel, basically saying, oh, y'all don't want to go after the Asians. Y'all don't want to go after the LGBT. Y'all don't want to go after the Spanish people. Nigga, that's all we do. That's all we do. We go after everybody. What are you talking about, nigga? And he knows this though. He knows this, but again, he has to say something. He has to make a point to try to make it sound like it's some bullshit. Like, yo, hold on. Let me finish playing this thing.
You're probably not that familiar with me. No one called out the Mejorando La Raza gang among a lot of Hispanics who a lot of times classify as white, even if they are black.
Yo, world talk. When that lady said F the blacks, yo, we was on her top. Marcel definitely was on her top. So we don't want to hear that shit, nigga. You just saying shit because this nigga kicking your ass in this debate. So you had to go to some fucking trolling type shit where you talk about something where you're being disingenuous about the fucking issue. You're saying that we don't fucking ever say anything to Spanish, gays, Asians, and all these other people when we get on them all the goddamn time. You just hate foundational black Americans because you said you're not one.
Asian Americans, white women, the ones who are anti-black, of course, the LGBTQ movement, all those groups get called out. But what has not historically happened in America, we as Black Americans have not called out those who look like us, but oftentimes will work against us all the same, who are Black Americans, freedmen, or FBA, as you will sometimes call American
Clarence Thomas
African.
has done more to work against black people than any immigrant you can name.
Or
Candace Owens has done more to work against African people than any immigrant that you can name.
Candace Owens is not one of us. She's from the Caribbean. Now, Clarence Thomas is from Savannah, Georgia. I don't know a whole lot about him legislatively, but I do know, and I was going to get to this point, but we're running out of time.
You don't know a whole lot about him. You don't know what just happened with affirmative action and hiring.
And I agree with what just happened with affirmative action.
What are you talking about?
I agree.
Listen to Marcel.
He pretty much made it clear that freedmen, which is a status that's held by the descendants of American slaves, is not racial, it's based on lineage. And now these other groups, like those immigrants you just mentioned, but even including some black immigrants, cannot just come in the country and say American racism has hurt them directly. But let me continue real quick.
Look how mad he is. Look how mad he is. He's mad because Marcel is busting that ass, nigga. He busting that ass because you sound stupid. Because look at the face. The face says everything. Nigga, what you mad for? All he doing is spitting facts. All he doing is spitting facts. See, this goes against your movement. Nigga, you the Prince of Pan-African, the King Kong of consciousness, and all this other goofy shit. Right? But all that shit brings in all these fucking African people who you know got fucking resentment against us, who you know trying to undermine us, and you want us to work with these niggas. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. And none of them, and you don't talk about CARICOM, you don't talk about AFRICOM, you don't talk about none of these fucking African and Caribbean fucking reparations shit that they don't fucking mention us in, nigga. That's what you always doing. So fuck you, motherfucker. At the end of the day, real talk, because that's not for real, and I don't apologize for talking like that. Because at the end of the day, if you are willing to fucking go against the people just to spite somebody that you got fucking beef with, nigga, fuck you. Real talk. Let me go to Garfield, punk ass. Because he's another disingenuous motherfucker. And he helped me out. And I respect him for the help, but nigga, you still a disingenuous motherfucker. You are. Now watch this. I'm gonna play this shit.
Somebody who's FBA to be out front and have that voice. You need to have that. When I was growing up in Jamaica, I never really talked about, I didn't really care. I didn't even know I was even gonna come here.
Watch,
You know what I'm
listen.
saying? But at the end of the day, when I came here, all I could hear about, yo, watch out for them Yankee boy. Watch out for them on Ray. Yeah, we bad talking, y'all.
See? But, nigga, you be writing posts acting like you don't fucking know that shit is going on. This is why I don't like you niggas and how you niggas be doing that fuck shit. See, y'all do that fuck shit because Garfield was posting little whack shit about the FBA and all this whole other shit and how we delineating and how that shit is fucking hatred. But deep down inside, nigga, the whole time you was saying that, nigga, you knew that y'all had more contention for us than we had for you. First of all, we really don't even have no contention for you. Let's keep it a buck. But you see, when you came up, watch out for them Yankee boys, rock out for them Ray, whatever the fuck that is. Y'all always got names for us, nigga. But then you try to sit there and act like we on some bullshit. We on some xenophobic shit because I done heard you use that fucking word. And this is why I got a little feeling about you. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because I'm going in right now.
Bad talking, y'all. But at the end of the day, who is speaking up for the Black American who is always at the bottom of the totem pole? You need somebody who has gone through what they've...
We don't want to hear shit about nobody speaking up for us, nigga. You're not going to talk shit on me then speak up for me. For real, because a lot of y'all niggas be undermining it. And show me, though, because you about to say, when he talking about the Caribbeans and the Jamaicans or whoever fucking helping us, nigga, all that shit is some back in the day shit. Ain't none of that shit going on now. You don't got them same riders equivalents for Marcus Garvey. Or Kwame, Kuma Kwame, or whatever his name is. Excuse me, I don't even mean to say whatever his name is. Shout out to the family. But you feel what I'm saying? I'm mad right now. But you feel what I'm saying? Like, dog, we're not trying to hear that.
They've gone through. I'm not saying that immigrants can be involved, but you do need to have people who are FBA, fully FBA as they call it, to make that program work. I mean, as far as pushing it and all that stuff. And show somebody who has been in the trenches, who has suffered through all the mishaps, segregation, and all that stuff. In Jamaica, we never went through all of that. In the society it's that way, but as far as how y'all went through Jim Crow and segregation, we as Jamaicans, we never went through that, and we just got to be honest about it, you know. But FBA, I will say that you need FBA, you need ADOS, but some of the rhetoric that they have regarding immigrants need to be toned down.
All right, so you agree with
hey, so our rhetoric need to be tore down, but the Yankee and the Ray don't need to be tore down. See what I'm saying? Do you see what the fuck I am saying? And this is the first time that this nigga ever came out and said shit about them Jamaicans being on some bullshit with us. Huh? Now you see, this is what we mean. Nigga, you not, and I always tell people this on a regular personal level. You never allow anyone to talk shit on you or try to tell you to pick up your bootstraps or try to tell you to get yourself together, and they never tell you about anything good that you're doing. Fuck them. And that's how I feel about Garfield right now, nigga. Because you will sit here and tell us we got to get our rhetoric together while you just sat here and said that y'all back talking us, calling us Yankees and Ray, and you didn't tell your people to fucking get rid of that rhetoric, nigga.
The premise. You agree with the actual group, the founder of the group, but you think that they have some extreme views that may need to be
listen, man,
kind of worked out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have some views that people don't like. And by the way, family, this is rapid fire. I gotta pick a side. Whether I like Tariq or not, I gotta defend Tariq. You don't like I gotta be on the other side. If he's defending Tariq, I'm against Tariq. That's how it is. This is how we doing the show. It's not crossfire. That's how we doing it. All right.
That's your excuse to say you're not a hater.
I'm just
you don't like
arguing a point. That's the point. Agree to disagree. I have to disagree.
No. You don't have to disagree. You don't like Tariq, nigga. I done seen so many fucking shits that you had about him, nigga. And that's why you talk about the museum, all that shit, because you dogged the museum. You never had anything good to say about Tariq before this fucking agree to disagree shit. See, disingenuous. These niggas be disingenuous as hell, bro. These niggas be disingenuous as hell, and they some real live haters.
Disagree with whatever he's saying.
That's
I
right.
have to. All right. So now, as far as FBA, I think the movement is needed, but they just need to tone down the rhetoric. There's really no problem with people trying to advocate for themselves to get reparations and all that stuff. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
A lot of people in the chat that's
Hold on, listen, family.
I guess anti-FBA, and I'm not sure what reason they would have to be anti. I don't get it. I don't get why
The rhetoric. They're upset about the rhetoric and the division, devices.
No, nigga, no. That's not why they fucking anti-FBA. You just admitted it just a second ago, fam. You just said when you came over here from Jamaica, when you was 10 years old, the first thing they kept saying is stay away from them Yankees and them Ray Rays. So why are you now saying that the whole anti-FBA shit is coming from the rhetoric that we starting to say right now? Nigga, fuck you and your fucking bullshit ass made up shit to try to fucking justify y'all hate for foundational Black Americans, nigga.
That he's saying, you know, it's just like him and Umar going back and forth. The issue here is if they're going, Umar is a Pan-Africanist. Tariq was a Pan-Africanist at one point. Now he's an Aboriginal FBA, which is nuts. You know what I'm saying?
How is that nuts? How is that nuts? Because he don't want to do Pan-Africanism again. Because you used to be in the NOI, FOI. You wasn't one of them. You not that no more, right? That's crazy, right? You used to be Nawapian. You used to follow Dr. What's his name? The one polite teacher, right? Dr. York. That's crazy that you not that no more. How is it crazy because he don't want to be Pan-African no more?
But at the end of the day, it's a movement. But the person who remember when I asked him in Atlanta, when I interviewed him, I said, where do we go from here? You can have the conference, but what happens tomorrow and so forth? All these movements are pretty much the same. You're going to gather people together, then there's some form of money incentive behind it that they're getting, and then that's it. FBA created reggae music. Go ahead, Asar. Go ahead.
Watch, family.
Asar, oh yeah. I support them. I support ADOS. I support FBA. I support all those groups that's trying to get us reparations. I don't know how anybody can be anti any of those things. Yeah, I get the toning down, but man, a lot of times, people just go overboard, man, on certain things. Yeah, especially like what you say earlier, how y'all could dog us out, man. We got a lot of Africans that come over here and dog us out as well. So a lot of people who dog us out never participate in what we've gone through as Black Americans, African Americans, and they got a lot to say, man. So to me, I think it's a response to that. Okay, foundation of FBA. He said he's 100% against ADOS and FBA. I would love to hear why.
Right,
I'd love to hear why. I'd love to hear why you could be anti any group that's trying to get us reparations.
He could come on in a minute whenever he's ready.
Yeah,
I want to play something for you.
Now watch this. They keep saying group.
I want to hear your opinion about this. And this is the affirmative action stuff, right? I want to play
affirmative.
Hold on.
All right, so you're pro.
Because I got somewhere to go, I'm going to end this. But for real, Garfield started talking about. Let me just break it down. Garfield started calling FBA a group. So did the old boy in there. They kept saying the group and the leader and this, that, and the third. Again, being disingenuous. You know that FBA isn't a group. You know it's not no corporation. You know it's a lineage. You know it's a lineage. But y'all say some of this shit purposely to deflect, to try to fuck the movement up. And that's why you all on the chopping block, nigga. Peace, love, and reparations. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We in here, family. I love y'all for all the support y'all been doing. And again, y'all have a blessed weekend. We up out of here.
Is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to